How's it going, guys? And welcome back to TheBlueShifting, and welcome back to Steinsgate Linear Bounded Phenogram, where we're about to enter the last story of this game and finally be done with Linear Bounded Phenogram, which is a little bit sad. It's actually kind of nice though, because I mentioned earlier that I've been watching Steinsgate 0 with my wife because we watched the original Steinsgate, and she it was great because she immediately asked, she's like, gosh darn it, is there more? And I was like, well, actually, yes, there is. So we rolled right into Steinsgate 0, and as of tonight, we finished it. So yeah, it's just gonna be really interesting to see. She's a little sad that it's over now, but apparently it's not quite, because apparently there's like a Steinsgate movie. I didn't even know it existed until I was like looking around on Funimation to just like I don't know what I was looking for. I think I was having to look up Steinsgate so we could start watching it again, because it'd been a while and it wasn't in our recent watched anymore. And found a movie, so I was like, okay, guess we're gonna watch that. But then after that, I'm gonna have to recommend something else to watch. But neither here nor there. It's we're almost done with Steinsgate on the channel too. We only have My Darling after this, the kind of more like lighthearted dating sim, I think. I don't know too much about it, obviously, because I'm trying to avoid spoilers. But after that, Steinsgate's over and done. But Linear Bounded Phenogram is going to be wrapping pretty shortly. We're just going to roll right into the next one, and I'm probably going to do a wrap party for the two of them all at the same time. But yeah, let's just jump into this bonus and grand kind of finale story, and figure out how Nai's story really plays in here. I have no clue what to expect, but should be interesting. Should be interesting indeed, especially because we are absolutely going to be in the Alpha Worldline, so I'm guessing it's mostly going to be from her perspective rather than anything else, because like what was it, yeah, like Lukako's story was very much just kind of the same story but from Lukako's perspective, if I remember correctly. So yeah, we're going to be doing this, but that number is also really low, so it makes me think it kind of 137199 137161, so it's going to be really close to the llama episode. Yeah, not that one. That's in the 4s. So, we will just get started and jump into it and see what we can find. Oh yeah, let's get this done. Lunar Bifrost. God. Man, and sometime I gotta talk about Steinsgate 0 anime. Like, it's interesting what they did with that. It was great. Pretty well follows the story until like the last third. Oh, sorry. We'll talk about Steinsgate 0 another time. It was interesting though. Back then I was still a child. I didn't realize what was happening to the people around me. I was the only one living a normal life back then. And by the time I realized that, nobody was left. My dad's gone. He died and left me alone. I haven't seen the college guy, the high school girl, or anyone else from the second floor of Dad's building since that summer. Everyone close to me vanished all at once. The only thing I knew was that something had happened, but I didn't know what. Dang. How sad. So this is obviously, seems like to be not crazy Nai, like super psychotic Nai from the future. This is just post everything ripped away from you Nai. No mail, no mail. It's like Dad's building has been frozen in time for the past 2 years. Oh, excuse me. The closed shutters haven't been opened once this entire time. I'm sure everything in the shop is covered in dust, which wouldn't be much of a change from the way things used to be. There might be spider webs everywhere now, though. I get shivers just imagining the spiders. Now, if I remember correctly, in the storyline, she's like 9 or 10, so if it's been 2 years, I mean, 12, maybe? I can handle cockroaches better than spiders, but hairy caterpillars are the worst. I don't really have anything to do here. I don't intend to go inside, and it's not like I'm waiting for someone, but I end up heading here after school about once a month. I look around. The shops along Akihabara's main street, Chidori, change all the time. But over here, I feel like nothing's changed since 2 years ago. There aren't many people. Most of the buildings are multi-tenanted types. There. Aww. She's wearing the uniform that Mayuri wears, so maybe she's going to the same school. I notice and start staring at the roof of the multi-tenanted building diagonally across from here. There I see a man wearing a black suit, smoking a cigarette and looking bored. I just call them agents. After Dad died, and after all the lab mems stopped showing up, they started appearing around this building. They're not always the same people. In fact, they seem like different people every time. SERN. At first I didn't pay much attention to them, but every time I came here I was sure to notice a person in a black suit somewhere within view. They might be watching Dad's building, even though nobody goes in or out of it now. Those agents, they're waiting for someone. I wonder if they know who. The reasons why my dad suddenly took his life. And the reason why the lab mem stopped coming here. I always think about asking them. Just imagining it makes my heart race and I get too scared. Once again, I leave the place as though of fleeing. That reminds me, the summer 2 years ago, a girl came to Dad's shop to work part-time and she said something strange. A time machine. A dreamlike machine that lets one travel to the past or future. Miyoshi, my class's name for our middle school math teacher, says that that's totally impossible to build one. But if a machine like that really existed, I'd go back to that summer. Go back to that summer and what? Do I want to get involved? Do I just not want to be left alone?
わかんないよ。
No. Who's taking care of her now? Uh-oh. I turn off my alarm clock and get out of bed. It's 7 a.m. I'm pretty good at getting up on my own. Even when Dad was around, I'd get up by myself, make breakfast by myself, and take out the trash. Dang. The neighbors would always say what a responsible child I was. I'm still a little sleepy, but I quickly take off my pajamas and put on my uniform. My middle school uses a pretty plain sailor-type uniform. It's not very cute. I know many who would beg to differ, but I don't have a very good fashion sense, so uniforms are actually helpful for me. I learned that after entering middle school. Yeah, so she must be like 12, 13. I wash my face in the bathroom, then go to the living room. Oh, okay, yeah. So, Faris must have taken her in.
Yeah, Nai. Ohayo.
Uncle Yukitaka.
おはようございます。
Having made his morning preparations, Uncle Yukitaka was drinking coffee and reading the newspaper. Yeah, so kind of like I said before, like Alpaca Man universe and this universe are very similar. The numbers are super close to each other, so it makes sense. This is the world line where all the changes kind of were kept. Mayuri's gone, and Okabe is kind of like just wandering around doing his own thing, probably. There's breakfast for 4 laid out on the table. Today it's ham, stir-fried bok choy, and tomato salad.
ナイちゃん、今パン焼くから座ってて。
Wait, Aunt Chikane? Who's that? I hear Aunt Chikane's voice in the kitchen where she's wearing an apron and working. Chikane. I sit down and pour some milk into my cup. It's been almost 2 years since the Akiha family took me in. After Dad passed away, I didn't have a single relative. I was worried about what I'd do, but Rumio suggested this right away. Uncle Yukitaka knew about me because my dad was familiar with the people in Akihabara shopping district. Yeah, isn't he like one of those like coordinators? Not only are they letting me stay with them free of charge, but they're paying my tuition as well. Dang. They really are kind people.
お姉ちゃんは？
Aww. It's funny because it says, where's Rumiho? But she actually said, where's sister? Where's my sister?
まだ寝ているんじゃないかな。昨日も遅かったみたいだからね。
Yeah.
最近朝起きてこないね。
ベンチャー企業の社長さんは忙しいみたいだよ。
Yeah, it's true. Rumio started her own company when she graduated high school this spring. It's a small company with only 3 employees, but she's the president nonetheless.
大丈夫かな?
I wonder what her business is. Is it May Queen again or something else?
ルミホには黒木もついているから心配はいらないよ。あの子はああ見えてしっかりした子だしね。
Yeah, she is. She really is.
そっか。
When I'm about halfway through my salad, Aunt Chikane brings me my toast. After spreading my favorite strawberry jam onto it, I took a bite. Oh, sounds good.
それより、なえ、テスト勉強は大丈夫なのかい？もうすぐなんだろ？
Mm-hmm.
予習はバッチリしてあるし。
You may not know by looking at me, but I'm pretty smart. I was in the top 10 of my grade at the spring exams. Ah, that's pretty impressive.
朝練は今もやっているのかな？
テスト前だからなし。
Ah, nice. I'm a member of the badminton team. I'm just okay. Why did I choose badminton? I just sort of felt like it. Aw. I always have a morning practice, so I wake up 30 minutes early. So today I actually slept in.
そんなに急がなくてもいいのに。
It's alright. I gobbled down my toast through the force of happiness. I'm guessing it actually means like habit.
朝練ないって話してたばっかりなのにね。
When I laugh, Uncle Yukitaka and Aunt Chikane smile gently. I'm doing so well because of the Akiya family.
行ってきまーす。
She's doing pretty good. She seems to be pretty well, like, together right now. In the end, I leave the house without seeing Rumio. My school is near Naka Okachimachi Station. It's about a 30-minute walk. I could ride a bike to school, but I choose to walk instead. In part because I don't want to ask the Akiya family to have to buy me a bicycle. Besides that, I like walking. As I walk, I think of how things were 2 years ago. Back when I was in elementary school, I'd walk along this road to go to visit Dad's building. At the time, my dad and I actually lived in Okachimachi. Now that I think about it, I wonder what happened to that house. It was pretty worn down and seemed like it could collapse at any moment. It was put up for sale, but I doubt anyone would have wanted to live there.
朝からテンション落ちてきた。
Aww. And I felt so cheerful when I left home. When I'm alone, my thoughts have a bad habit of drifting to the past. I'm almost at the place where I meet up with my classmate, Mako-chan. We're both on the badminton team, and she's probably my closest friend to school. That's why we always walk together in the morning. I slap my cheeks with my hands. I'm okay. There are people who greet me every morning. I'm doing well in both studies and sports. I have friends in school. If I continue living like this, I'm sure I'll end up happy. I'm sure I'll forget that summer someday. Someday. Fetch, man. Okay, maybe she's not doing as well. With tests approaching, there are no club activities this week. And you got a message. What is this? So, Mako-chan. Already home? Not Chan, did you go home already? I thought we could go together. Aww. And then Rumio. Great news. I got preview tickets for the next month's Real Night Kakeru movie, Nyan. You're interested? So it's for the anime, not Access Battlers. When's the next AB national tournament starting? I want to watch you win the championship again. Or... I want to go, let's go together. Yeah, she just want to go. That sounds awesome. I could go home as soon as school ends, but since the only thing to do is study, I want to take a little detour. So I decided to go to my secret place for the first time in a while. First, I'll buy a strawberry juice at the juice stand in front of Yodobashi and drink it on the spot. You could say it's like a ritual. If I drink strawberry juice here, the day always goes well. My allowance is limited, so I can only do it about once a week. Then I go down to Showa Street, heading to... Yeah? The arcade! Yes, an arcade. It's not pretty or clean like any of the places along Chidori, but I like this old rundown arcade. It's dimly lit kind of stuff. It's dimly lit kind of stuff, and the customers are mostly adult men. There isn't a single arcade game or anything else in here couples would find cute. Oh wow, Nye. But it's like the dark, but I like it that it's dark. Nobody notices a middle school girl like me playing games here. My secret pleasure is coming here once a week and playing one game. I want to come here more often, but with practice and stuff I can barely even do that. I always play fighting games. That's a game where you select a character to control and have a one-on-one battle. You usually fight against the computer, but other people can challenge you too. You can keep playing as long as you don't lose. That's pretty nice for me, given how limited my allowance is. All the good fighting game players gather at big arcades in Chidori. I sometimes go to those, but this is my home field. I don't plan on changing that. Now then, which one should I play today? Maybe I'll go with the usual Golden Wolf Fighter 4, or aka Street Fighter. The fourth entry in the 2D fighting game series released in 2010. Oh, but there's a new Blaze Black game out there too. I have no idea what that one's supposed to be, Hamaka. 2D fighting game with game series. 4 entries have made their way to arcades and even has console ports. Its characters and world are popular players in the teens and 20s and many difficult gameplay systems and big with hardcore fighter game fans. Blaze Black. Couldn't be Soul Calibur, right? No, it's not that. I'll play this today. I insert 100 yen and start the game. After playing with a new character for a while, someone challenges me. In a fighting game, your opponent is on the opposite machine, so you can't see their face. I like this about fighting games. The only measure of your opponent is their strength. Here, I'm not just a child. They're pretty tough. I get focused when I fight strong opponents. Nice. I really like this feeling. Get him! Get him! I lost the first round. How frustrating. And I drank my strawberry juice today too. It's probably because I'm using a new character. It'll take some time before I learn their quirks and tricks. There's a little downtime between rounds. I stretch out and to release some of my tension. When two of men on the edge of my vision catch my eye. When two other men or two men on the edge of my vision catch my eye. Why did I notice them? They're sitting on chairs in front of the arcade cabinets talking and not playing games. This isn't the McDee's. If you sit there, people can't play games. On top of that, the fat one is holding fast food burger and a drink. How annoying. I'm not a very pushy person. So even if I wanted to play a game with some bad men or people were sitting in the seats like that, I probably wouldn't be able to say anything. I'd just give up and leave. Oh! Speak to my heart, Nye. That's totally me. You're adults. Try to act like it. I say only in my head. Round 2 begins. This is bad. If I don't focus, I'll lose again. The fat one of the pair finishes eating his hamburger and stands up. Why am I more curious about them than the game? I don't know. Usually I don't care in the slightest about other customers. Oh, we know who that is. I accidentally hit the stick. That results in a short, unsafe jump, so naturally I'm knocked down by an anti-air attack, which leads to a combo. I panic for a moment. I try to calm my nerves, but in my confusion I miss my sweep and get rushed down. I'm not quite KO'd yet, but I give up on turning this around. I raise my eyes from the screen and look for the Batman. I notice a large frame leaving through the door. I need to follow him. It was intuition. It's bad manners to stand up in the middle of a battle, but I'll lose sight of him at this rate. So, I'm sorry. I could just make out his heavy voice over the noise of the games. I recognize that voice. Unless it's just my imagination. It sounded like a voice I often heard during that summer 2 years ago. Yep. Get him! Get him! I had already lost sight of the fat man. I know I saw him walking toward the station, though. I look around. He's really big, so I should be able to spot him fairly easily. He was pretty far away. I start calling out to him, but it would be embarrassing to shout around so many people, so I decide just to wave my hand vigorously. However, no matter how much I wave at the fat man's back, he's not going to notice. I need to run after him. Go, go, go! I hurry under the railway and finally catch up in front of the UPXP. The fat man still hasn't noticed me. He's still just strolling along. I gather up my courage and say something. Oh, he changed his shirt. The fat man turns to face me. Our eyes meet. I knew it. I recognize that face. There's no mistake. He was the college student who frequented the second floor of my dad's building 2 years ago. His name was... Duck. Was that it? I'm not sure. He's more of a pig than a duck. The moment he recognizes me, Duck-san runs away at full speed. Fetch, wait, why? His massive body rocks back and forth as he waddles into the distance. That was weird. I'm shocked that it bolted like that. Yeah, or maybe he's assuming that she works for SERN now? I didn't think he'd try to run away. I don't have time to be concerned with people around me now. I shout to him. But Duck wouldn't stop. I rushed after him. I'd never normally do something like this. To think Duck would run into the main street. Pedestrians on the sidewalk stare at me, wondering what's going on as I chase after the fleeing Duck. Fortunately, Duck isn't a very fast runner. He's gasping for breath, bumping into basically everyone he passes by. I'll catch him easily at this rate. Seemingly out of stamina, Duck finally comes to a complete halt. He slumps over and puts his hands on his knees, gasping for breath. Upon catching up to him, I notice everyone looking at us. We're in the middle of Akihabara. I'm in the middle school girl chasing after a panting fat adult. I wonder what everyone thinks about us in this situation. It's a little weird. Couldn't he have stopped somewhere with a fewer people? That kind of annoys me, but I can't just stand here saying nothing forever. Wait, what? Taking a closer look, Duck's gaze isn't on me, it's directed behind me. I turn around to look. The agents. It's summertime, yet 3 men in hot-looking black suits are wedging their way through the crowd toward us. I have no idea if they work with the ones I always see around Dad's building, but... Duck is covered in sweat, looking like he could collapse to the ground at any moment. The agents are getting really close now. This feels like it came straight out of a manga. Oh wow, I move without thinking. I grab Duck's hand and pull him into the nearby parts shop. We weave through the narrow aisles and climb to the second floor. A store employee who knows Duck recognizes him and lets us take shelter there for a while. After hiding for about 10 minutes, we try heading back to the first floor. I look down the narrow aisles, checking to make sure there was no agents. Don't count on it. They saw you come in here. They're definitely waiting outside for you. Upon saying this, Duck started walking off on his own. What an intelligent man you are, Daru. He's leaving. He's going to disappear. I feel like if we were separated here, I'll never see him again. Someone please give me courage. I make up my mind to stop him. Good job, Nai. Mm-hmm.
リアル JC に逆難されるとか絶対なんかの罠っしょ。絵とか壺とか売りつけられるんですね。わかります。
I glare sharply at Duck.
私は天王寺ないです。
はあ、 おお、なえちゃん氏。
Yeah, crazy. Seemed like he finally remembered. Duck rapidly blinks his fleshy eyes. Ew, that sounds gross.
ほい、これは助けてくれたお礼。
Without even asking, Duck buys me a drink from the vending machine and hands it to me. It's a 0-calorie cola, but I don't even like soda. Could have asked me what I wanted before buying it. But it would be rude to refuse now, so I have no choice but to accept it. Alright, there's a Romeo. Understood, ma'am. Then we have to make a movie date on that. Nyan, I'm looking forward to it. It's been a while since I went out together. I'm excited too. Aw, that's so sweet.
ありがとうございます。ダックおじさん。
ダックおじさんって呼ぶのやめてほしいけん。呼び方はイタルお兄ちゃんで頼む。またはダルザスーパーハッカー。
Itaru Oni-chan. Jeez. As he says this, Duck buys another 0-calorie cola.
激しい運動の後のコーラはうますぎだろ上皇。異論は認めない。
Yeah.
いやー、それにしても2年ぶりに来た秋葉で JC に助けられただけじゃなく、その JC が成長したなえちゃん氏とか、エロゲだったら完全にフラグじゃね？
Yeah, would stay away
ガ
from
チ
her.
で運命感じちゃってるわけだが、ここから僕となえちゃん氏との愛と冒険の日々が始まるんだお。映画化決定。
Yeah, you should. Where's Yuki?
あ、いや、じゃあ、イタルお兄ちゃんじゃなくてもいいっす。イタルさんとかでいいっす。
Yeah, thank goodness.
なえちゃん氏、目が怖いわけだが。
Yeah.
もちろん JC の冷ややかな視線つうのもそれはそれでありなんだけど。
Did he ever stop? Calm down. Ah, now I remember. I was thinking about it the whole time. This guy's name. His nickname is Daru. The lab mems called him that. His family name is Hashida. That's what my dad called him. Seeing how he just asked me to call him Itaru Oni-chan, his first name must be Itaru Hashida. Phew, that's a relief.
コーラ飲まないん？カロリーゼロだからダイエット中でも安心なのだぜ。
Right.
ダルおじさん。教えてもらえますか？
え？何よ？
2年前の夏、何があったのか。
Yeah. When I spotted Daru in the arcade, I had to chase him down. I didn't even think of asking him that. But now that I've calmed down, I see that his appearance and speech haven't really changed since 2 years ago. It's as though time suddenly rewound to that summer. I couldn't help but ask.
どうしてみんな、急にいなくなっちゃったんですか？もう、ラボメンは、集まらないんですか？
Come on, Daru, you gotta tell her. She's old enough. Daru's carefree expression suddenly changes. He seems sad somehow.
もう集まらないよ。未来ガジェット研究所は空中分解したっつか、みんなバラバラだし。ちなみに僕は去年1年間ずっとなんとスイスにいたのだぜ。世界を股にかけるスーパーハッカーだお、キリ。
Dang.
スイス。旅行ですか？
まあそんなもん。オカリンやマキセ氏と一緒にね。
Yeah, at SERN.
オカリンおじさんとクリスお姉ちゃん3人で？
さあ。
Only 3 of them. Hearing his answer gives me a tight feeling deep in my chest. It's painful. He didn't mention her name. Mayuri. She was the one I liked the most out of all the lab mems. She would always hug me with a kind smile on her face. Like a mother. She spent all her time with Uncle Okarin. But they didn't go to Switzerland together. I think I already vaguely knew. Mayuri had passed away, and it happened at Dad's building. Back then I was so upset over my dad's death that I had no idea what had happened to Mayuri. There was no way I could have attended her funeral like that. But talking to Rumiho and Luca at the Yanabayashi shrine, I somehow knew. Mayuri isn't around anymore. Daru's story just now only confirms it.
どうして外国に行ってたんですか？
God, so depressing!
拉致されてたんだお。
To fetch.
え？
Captive.
悪い奴らに捕まってさ、1年半くらいは幽閉されてたかな。で、僕とオカリンは命からがら脱出して、こうして日本に戻ってきてるっつうわけ。
Dang, but Makuse's stuck there.
そうなんだ。
Wait, is that supposed to be a joke? Daru's expression hasn't changed at all. Is this real or a lie? I don't know. It's a real pain. If only I could reuse Rumio's Cheshire or whatever right now. No matter how much I grow, I'm still a child. I can't even tell if an adult's telling the truth or not. It's frustrating. So I got a little mad.
私のお父さんが死んだ理由を知りませんか？
Dang. Daru got startled just now. Even I could see that.
何か知ってるんですか？教えてください。
I look him straight in the eyes and ask.
それはさ、僕も詳しくはわからないんだよね。
Right.
それにさ、あれからもう2年経ってるわけじゃん。今さら何言ったって、なんとかに口なしっつうかなんつうか。
また、それなんだ。
Rumio was the same.
私が聞いても、誰も教えてくれない。私が子供だから？ 2年前の当事者じゃないから？
させん。何にせよ、なえちゃん氏は僕らとはもう関わり合いにならない方がいいと思われ。
You gotta explain it to her though. She's old enough.
じゃ、
Oh, you coward. Daru throws his empty cola can into the trash and walks off alone. Naturally, I follow him.
秋葉原にはずっといるんですか？
いや、いるとしても来週ぐらいまでだお。
Next week. Sounds like they don't intend to stay here like they did 2 years ago.
どうして今になって秋葉原に戻ってきたんですか？
ちょっと用事があるんだお。
Yeah, I bet.
おかりんおじさんは？
来てないよ。
これからどこに？
Yeah.
ラボ。
ラボ。
A place that the lab men's call home. There's no question.
あのビル行くの？
これ、他の人には内緒にしといてもらえると助かるわけだが。
鍵かかってるよ。
なえちゃん氏、鍵持ってたりするん？
持ってるけど。
マジ？
Yeah. Luca. Cookies. Hi, Nan-chan. You said you wanted to make cookies yourself last time we met, right? Let's find some time when summer break starts to make them together. It'd be a big help if you could ask Rumio-chan what date works for her. Summer break starts the 21st. I'll ask Rumio about her plans or cookies. Cookies you baked before were super good. I want to be as good at baking and making sweets as you are. Aw, that's sweet. Luca-ko, the savior of cooking. Seems Daru asked the question as a joke. He's surprised by my answer.
お父さんが死んでから、一応私がオーナーっていうことになってるから。
In name only, though. Daru turns to face me.
ちなみにさ、42型のブラウン管テレビって今も置きっぱ？
Oh, I think I see what Daru and Okabe are planning to do now.
42型。
That was the biggest CRT at the store.
多分置きっぱなしです。お父さんが死んでから何も持ち出してないし。
Couldn't bear to get rid of the TVs in the store without Dad's approval.
来た来た
Daru comes to some sort of agreement with himself and nods.
なえちゃんし、お店の鍵ちょっとだけ貸してくんない？ダメ？
あそこで何をするつもりなんですか？
それは
何も教えずに鍵を借りようなんて、そんなの虫が良すぎると思います。
She's got a point, Daru. I gather my courage and express my concerns to his face.
おかりんには誰にも言うなって言われてるんだけど。なえちゃんし、秘密守れる？口は硬い方？
Oh boy.
大丈夫です。
I won't mention that Suzuha once told me I have a bad habit of carelessly spilling secrets. Oh crap. But that was 2 years ago. I'm a middle schooler now. I'm sure it'll be fine. Famous last words.
これ誰にも言わないっつうことでやろう。ガチなんで。実はさ、
Yeah.
過去にメールを送るんだ。
Oh, fetch.
冗談はやめてください。私は真面目に話してるのに。
Yeah. But he is too.
ガチだっつうの。
だって過去にメールを送るなんてそんなの。
While I'm saying this, I remember. Excuse me. 2 years ago, I went to Dad's store to play. I could hear Okari and the others' voices coming out of the second story window. I know I clearly heard the words.
タイムマシン。
エグザクトリー、その通りでございます。2年前、僕らはそれを発明したんだ。
For some reason, I feel like he isn't lying. After all, if that were true, the reason why Mayuri died, why the lab members disappeared, why Daru and the others were captured and taken abroad, that explains it all.
過去にメールを本当？
僕らは D メールって呼んでるんだけどさ、ラボからじゃないと送れないんだよね。
タイムマシンがあそこに隠してあるんですか？
隠してあるっつうか、多分ラウンダーに回収されちゃったからまた作り直さなくちゃいけないわけだが。
So we need to make a new one. What are rounders?
どっちにしても僕はあのラボに行かなくちゃダメなんだよ。
Dang.
でないと未来でいろいろ都合が悪くなるらしいんで。
Ah.
だからこの通り貸してください、お願いします。
He bows his head. His voice is loud. People around us are looking again. On top of that...
そこの君たち。
Uh-oh.
ゲゲ
A police officer who was passing by took notice of us. To be fair, it does look really suspicious when Daru and I are talking to each other.
大丈夫。
The police officer asked, ignoring Daru and looking me in the eye.
いや、僕は別に何も怪しくないっつうか、悪いことは何にもしてないっつうか、そりゃ2次元においてはロリコンかもしれんけど、3次元に手を出すなんてもってのほかで。
The first sentence was great, but then he just went spiraling out of control.
ダルおじさん、それ自爆。
ぐねね。
君たちはどういう関係かな？
それはその。
Daru looks my way, begging for out. I breathe a small sigh.
いとこです。
Yeah, it works.
いとこです。
でも今、おじさんって。
そう呼んでるだけです。
あ、そういとこ。つうか僕まだ21なのにおじさん呼ばわりとかちょっとひどくねみたいな。
Yeah.
あ、そうですか。それは失礼しました。
Nice. The police officer was still tilting his head a little in doubt but leaves. Daru lets out a big sigh.
危ねえ、危なすぎる。こんなんで捕まったらユキタンに殺されるよ。
So Yuki is a part of the picture. I'd never heard the name Yukitan before, but I didn't think to ask about her. We have more important things to do.
今日これで2回もダルおじさんのこと助けてあげたね。
Oh, she's got you there.
そうなるかも。
かもじゃないよ。助けたよ。
Yep. And she's gonna save you again when she tells you about the people who are watching the lab. I couldn't get involved 2 years ago. And because of that, I know nothing.
だから代わりに
Uh-oh. This might be my only chance to jump in.
私にもその D メールっていうのを送らせて。
Okay, did not see that coming.
ちょっ
For just a moment, I wondered what I could do. What kind of message do I want to send, and who do I want to send it to? The answer was immediate. I wanted to ask Dad, why did you leave me all alone 2 years ago? But more than that, I wanted to get involved, to jump into what I couldn't get involved in 2 years ago. Fascinating. I think that's a good place for us to stop. So Naya wants to send an email, huh? Interesting indeed. We're gonna see where that plays out. And we're gonna see how Daru tries to apparently steal his electron gun from the CR TV, the 42-inch. I wonder if CERN's figured out how to activate it now. I'm guessing with Kurisu cooperating with them, they do effectively have a functional time loop machine now, which is unfortunate, but that's what they're trying to fight here, right? Ooh, this is really cool, actually. I'm really enjoying this look of like post-CERN victory like world, and like how Daru and Okabe apparently escaped and are starting their like terrorist resistance now. It's gonna be really fascinating to see. I hope that we get to explore this pretty well, but I have no idea how long it's going to be. But yeah, this will be really fun. So yeah, let's continue this, and next week we'll be able to continue the story, of course, until we reach the bitter end, and then we'll jump to the dating sim one, and then we'll be done with Steinsgate. Sad to say, but I'm glad I got to cover it. It's a lot of good content that we've been able to make out of this. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this journey, especially now with the whole like mages and being bought out and the changes that that's brought. I'm glad I still get to post this content, and I'm glad that you've decided to be a part of it. Thank you for being here. I look forward to reading your comments and your thoughts this week. Hopefully this video gets out properly. But other than that, there's lots of good stuff to continue to watch on the channel, and more stuff's going to be coming in the future. So, thank you, and until the next video watch from me, you'll have to see me in next. I'll see you there.